Google this, Google that. That is the one thing that we all have in common when it comes to being on the internet. Searching for stuff, Googling stuff. So for today, we're going to be getting into some data around some of the top searches from 2021. Hey, what up? It's your boy MobbJustice back again with another video, and this one is a little bit of an extension of what we did last week. Last week we took a look back at some of our favorite devices, stories, announcements that had come out through the year that was 2021, and for today it's likely to be our last video for the year. So I thought that would look back at some recently released data that Google has brought out about some of the searches that people were making over in that famous little white box. More specifically, what were people searching for in South Africa? As always, this video is brought to you by the team over at Liyon Media. Head on over to check out some of the crispiest photo, video, and audio content. That's www.lionmedia.com. Head on over, check it out, and just see what the team can do for you. Usually at this time of the year, Google likes to bring out what it calls its year in search, and you can actually go and look this up for yourself. Google has a specific part of its website called Google Trends. You can actually go there and just check to see what are the things that people are searching for. Now, because I am in South Africa, we decided to focus specifically just around some of the data that's come out of the South Africa year in search for 2021. Now, they did focus on a couple of things. Three main key themes were things about what were South Africans searching for this year. The second one was what was the top trending South African personality of the last 12 months, and then what movies, TV shows, music, and global news grabbed people's attention. Looking at the data itself, it's quite understandable that some of the big data to come out, some of the top searches included the hit TV show Squid Game, the unfortunate passing of Shona Ferguson, the Euro 2020 football tournament, and then SASSA status check, and also because of vaccines, the question of how to register for the vaccine ended up being one of the most searched items. Now, as I said, Google has a lot of data when it comes to its year in search, a lot of different categories that it breaks the information up in, but I wanted to focus on three specific categories. The first one just having to do with what were some of the top general searches that people had, and then the second one was around what is you have these situations where people tend to ask Google certain questions. So two of those big questions is what is questions and how to questions. So those three things were the ones that stood out to me that I wanted to highlight. Now, looking at the trending general searches, if we look at the top 10, an interesting list that you see there, such as SASSA status check, that has to do with social security grants, Euro 2020, looking at the football as well as Premier League. We had the unfortunate passing of media mogul and actor Shona Ferguson that came out as well. Looks like the sports and football theme continues as we have PSL, which has to do with the soccer league, and then we also have Pakistan versus South Africa, that's likely the cricket. And then looking at election results, because South Africa had its local government elections recently. Killer Cow is an artist who unfortunately passed away recently as well, together with DMX internationally, as well as if we look at another sports theme, that is Wimbledon coming in at number 10. In the trending what is category, you can see that there is a lot of stuff going on here, but a couple that do stand out is what is state of emergency, that has to do with, you know, the lockdowns, what is COVID-19, what is human trafficking, you know, an unfortunate trend that's been happening. What is happening in Afghanistan? We had a couple of stories earlier this year, especially as the Taliban came back into power. What is ivermectin? That was a drug that's used for livestock that a lot of people thought could assist now with COVID-19. People asking about global warming. We see substance abuse once again. Squid Game, that is the Netflix show, gender-based violence, which has been a very big issue in South Africa, as well as, you know, just the basic question of, you know, what is happening in South Africa. And then we head on over to the trending how-to general category. There's a lot going on there, but you can see some of the interesting things that were coming out. How to apply for 350 Rand grant, you know, that ties in with one of the general trends we saw earlier on. How to register for the vaccine, how to check matric results online, how to check to vote online. That's another theme that we spoke about earlier. How to check SASSA balance, you know, tying in again with grants. And then how to tie a tie. I found that one, you know, to be quite interesting. You know, how to make money online in South Africa is probably a big question that people have been asking, not only in South Africa but across the world, especially with companies that have been closing due to lockdowns. You know, how to claim UIF online, you know, once again another grant related query. You know, how to drink ivermectin for COVID, we spoke about that earlier on. And then, you know, how to apply for NSFAS, you know, yet another way that you know, learners are able to go to school if you find yourself, you know, facing financial difficulty. And I think that's one of the things that, you know, some of these searches do highlight. You know, as much as you see a list like that, it does reflect the reality that people have, which is why, you know, some of these questions and trends stood out to me, because it really does feed into the realities that people are facing, the things that people are concerned about, you know, the things that are, you know, in the current lexicon, what people are chatting about, what people are having conversations about, what people are worried about. So as I said, you can actually head on over to Google, just search for Google Trends. They have a special section of their website where you can actually go and see trends according to, you know, geographical location, time of day. They have, you know, entire breakdowns. You know, you can see what people are asking about in different parts of the world. It's really quite an interesting list that's there, and it's something that's, you know, readily available that people can actually go out and look for. If you're a content creator, Google Trends is usually, you know, a great way to actually go out and see what people are talking about if you're looking for a source or a way to decide on what content you want to create for yourself. So that's been it for this video. It is quite interesting to see what people are searching for. As I said, it is, you know, quite a reflection of the realities that people, you know, tend to be facing at a particular moment in time. It will be interesting to see, you know, if we were to do a similar video this time next year, to look back and see what type of searches or what things people will be searching for through 2022, and how that reality changes, or in certain cases stays the same, you know, depending on what's going on. It would be interesting, you know, to see data from other search engines that are not Google, just to see how some of that data, I guess, matches up. And where the how-to is concerned, right, how would some of the how-to data fit into a big search engine like YouTube, for example? YouTube is a video site, but it's actually the world's second biggest search engine, and a lot of people tend to go to YouTube, for example, to look for tutorials, right? So it would be be interesting to cross-reference the how-to data from Google versus the how-to data from YouTube. But the other thing that it does show is just how big of a place Google continues to have in our lives. Who knew all those decades ago when they first started, how ubiquitous the term Google would be, and the concept, because Google's not only a word, it's literally a verb. You go out and Google something, right? And it would be great to see how all of this stuff continues to evolve over time. You can let us know, what have you been Googling through 2021? What have you been asking the mysterious Google search box? You can let us know in the comments, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. We'll see you guys next year.
This is Muffs Too Much, and you're watching MobbJustice TV. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter. We're there on YouTube. Thank you for watching our video. Subscribe.